Well, we are in the dry slot of this storm system today across southern Minnesota. That means a break from precipitation for the most part, kind of like the eye of the storm. But Duluth is really getting it, and all up the North Shore. More snow is on the way for us, though. That's when totals will add up in southern Minnesota. So we saw some significant snow across central Minnesota last night. Even in the Twin Cities, that rain turned quickly to snow late in the night. Generally about 1 to 2.5 inches of snow around most of the metro, but the airport was one of the low spots, just 0.4 of an inch. But northern and western suburbs saw more, but as much as 8 inches around Hinckley. You can kind of see visually as we contour it all in where the heaviest snow was from overnight, mainly central Minnesota. But this will all fill in and change over the coming days along the North Shore. Also, some pretty incredible wind. So heavy wet snow plastered against trees and buildings and power lines. 40 to 45 mile an hour wind gusts today, creating some blizzard conditions and also some major waves. So we're talking about 10 to 12 foot waves possible here along the North Shore, and certainly in the middle of Lake Superior in the western part of the lake as these winds blow from the southeast. Just insane wind and waves with that storm too. And also some thunder snow. You can see briefly here a lightning strike right about where it says Duluth. Picked that up on radar. And sure enough, that was observed by many people, including National Weather Service meteorologists in Duluth. Intense rates, 2 inches per hour last hour in Duluth. And they're already up to 8 inches through midday with much more on the way. All part of this big storm that also produced severe weather in the south. These are tornado reports, and sadly deadly. We had some deaths here in Louisiana, a mother and son, and several tornado reports on the southern end. So a classic storm system, spring or winter, where we get severe weather on the southern warmer end of things, and then some major snows and ice on the northern end. But mild for us today in southern Minnesota, again, where we're in that lull, that dry slot. Upper 30s today, and then we're going to see the precip move back in. So we're not done by any means. Showers will start to pop up this evening, probably in the form of rain because temperatures will be warmer, but then rain will turn quickly to snow around midnight tonight, and that's when we're going to see some additional accumulation. So plan on Thursday morning's commute being dicey. We're going to have snow falling through at least the later half of the night into the morning, and then most of it moves north and west during the middle of the day, but more snow will wrap around on Friday. So this low, very slow moving is going to give us pinwheeling areas of snowfall. But today it's mostly along the North Shore, 8 to 12 inches plus, with another 8 to 12 overnight tonight along the North Shore, but also more on the South Shore, northern Wisconsin. And through the Twin Cities, at least 2-3 inches of snow by the time of the morning commute around 7 a.m. And we'll see that snow start to pile up in western Minnesota during the day tomorrow. So this is 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Another 1 to 2 inches in the Twin Cities. So probably anywhere from 2 to 4 or 2 to 5 during the night tonight into tomorrow. And then additional gradually lighter accumulations tomorrow night into Friday. So maybe another 1-2 in spots, and then lighter amounts still probably Friday into Friday night. But the surface low here, just moving into Wisconsin on Friday when it's been in Nebraska today. So a very slow moving system, about 6 miles an hour is its pace. So that's why we're seeing this prolonged period of moisture. And again, as I mentioned, Friday, still some additional snowfall, but this is going to be a much lighter, 1 inch or less for most of us. So the system really winds down, but you're going to see snow falling through the air at least through Friday night or early Saturday. So in total, from early this morning all the way through Friday evening, we're talking 2 to possibly 3 feet along the North Shore, a large swath of anywhere from 6 to 14 inches across central and northern Minnesota in total, on top of what you already got last night, if some of you got those 8-inch amounts. In the Twin Cities, we're looking at probably a good half foot for most of us for tonight, tomorrow, into Friday snowfall totals. Now that would be added to the 1 or 2 inches that we saw last night, even though a lot of that's already melted or will have. But on the lower end of things, when we look at the models, it's possible we may only get 4 or 5 inches, but on the higher end, we could see some of those higher totals from the north make their way to the metro. And so then we could be talking about some of these 8, 9, even 10-inch amounts in some of the northern suburbs. So I wouldn't be shocked if some northern suburbs did get close to 10 here for totals. And on top of it all, we're getting some cold next week. Nothing like this, but it's worth a mention. 77.8 below zero Fahrenheit in Siberia. That was measured a couple of days ago. So some very cold air on the other side of the planet. We'll see if we get a taste of some of that. We'll get at least some on our side, which isn't as cold right now. Definitely colder next week. but still 30s through Friday, and then we're going to start to see that gradual cool down through the weekend. Only low teens on Sunday and single-digit highs Monday, and our first sub-zero reading overnight. Looks like Monday night we could be in the single digits below zero, teens below zero to the north.